Hello everyone and welcome to Metagame Mastery. Dominaria preview season is in full swing and the power level of this set is off the chains. It's bonkers. I have another infinite turns combo for you today in standard as well as new infinite combos for you in commander. This is Metagame Mastery. If you enjoy our content, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Big time! Go time! Let's go! Grand Warlord Rana is 4 CMC, 2 colorless, red-green for a 3/4 legendary elf warrior with haste. Whenever one or more creatures you control attack, add that much red or green mana to your mana pool. Until end of turn, you don't lose this mana as steps and phases end. So this card is awesome. Already attacking in as a 3/4 haste for only 4 mana is solid on its own. But on top of that, it rewards you for going wide and being aggressive by ramping you very, very well. This card's going to be especially powerful in Commander, where it can combo with cards like Aggravated Assault and Hellkite Charger to get you potentially an infinite number of combat phases and main phases. Very awesome. Ampening Sphere is 2 colorless mana for an artifact. If a land is tapped for 2 or more mana, it produces 1 colorless mana instead of any other type and amount. Each spell a player casts costs 1 colorless more to cast for each other spell that player has cast this turn. Absolutely hosing Tron, absolutely hosing Storm. This is the card that is going to change Modern. This is the biggest thing to happen to Modern since Jace the Mind Sculptor was unbanned. So powerful. You're going to see this in Legacy. You're going to see this in Vintage. You're going to see this in Competitive Commander. And the best card in the set is an uncommon, unbelievable, fantastic inclusion here. Unwind is 3 CMC, 2 colorless, and a blue for an instant counter target non-creature spell. Untap up to 3 lands. So if Rewind and Negate had a baby, it would be Unwind. This does everything you want from either of them. It's going to be absolutely bonkers in standard as control matchups are looking very, very strong. And any deck that would already run Rewind, would already run Negate, has absolutely no reason not to run this. Not to mention, in approach decks, you can cast this, negate something on your opponent's turn, and at end of turn, you can cast Supreme Will to dig through the top 4 cards of your deck. Very, very powerful interactions. And it's a common, no less, so it's going to see play in Pauper, too! Tareq's Bladewing is 4 CMC, 2 colorless, red for a 4/4 legendary dragon with flying. He also has a kicker cost of 3 colorless mana, and if he was kicked when he enters the battlefield, you create Tareq's Bladewing, a legendary 4/4 red dragon creature token with flying. So on his own, he's a 4/4 flyer for 4. That's really good in limited. And if you kick him, if you have the extra mana, you draw him late game, he's 2 4/4 bodies for 7 that also have flying. This is really solid. This is a super bomb in limited. Will it see play in standard? Not until after rotation at the very least. There's just Rekindling Phoenix, there's Hazaret, there's Chandra, there's Glorybringer. We're really good on big, beefy flyers in this range. After rotation, who knows? But in limited, this thing is gonna be a beast. Thorn Elemental is back. It's 7 CMC, 5 colorless, green for a 7/7 creature elemental. You may have Thorn Elemental assign its combat damage as though it weren't blocked. And it has been downshifted to uncommon, which I think is really perfect. Look at this new art. This is going to be an absolute bomb in limited. Probably won't see play anywhere else, but if you are drafting green, this is a great payoff. Drudge Sentinel is 3 CMC, 2 colorless and a black for a 2/1 Skeleton Warrior. You can pay 3 colorless mana and tap him. He gains indestructible until end of turn. So the tapping him is not a cost, it's an effect. So you can do this while he is tapped. That said, it's kind of like a powered up regenerates that costs way more mana. He's kind of just interesting in limited. That's about it. Fire Elemental is 5 CMC, 3 colorless, red, for a 5/4 Elemental. Just great filler for limited. It's a fine pickup. Great curve filler, I guess. Juggernaut is 4 CMC for a 5/3 artifact creature Juggernaut. He attacks each combat if able, and Juggernaut can't be blocked by walls. Awesome reprint, so flavorful. It's really cool that they included this. Goblin Chain Whirler is 3 CMC, red, for a 3/3 Goblin Warrior with first strike. And when he enters the battlefield, it deals 1 damage to each opponent and each creature and planeswalker they control. So this guy's really cool. Probably the second best of the Devotion series. First off, he passes the vanilla test with flying colors. He's a 3/3 with upside for 3 mana. And then on top of that, he's going to get rid of your opponent's little creatures. He's going to ping down their planeswalkers. And he's going to ding their life totals. Awesome card. And great goblin synergies, which seems to be a really strong sub-theme in Limited. Awesome. Gitu Journey Mage is 3 CMC, 2 colorless, and a red for a 3/2 human wizard. When it enters the battlefield, if you control another wizard, it deals 2 damage to each opponent. Already getting exponential value in multiplayer games, and is pretty darn solid, being a 3/2 body for 3 with upside. In Limited, this thing's going to be a beast. In Commander, it becomes a great value card. Especially if you play it on curve after Naban, Deed of Iteration, allowing you to double that trigger, dealing 4 damage to your opponent. Or with Anala in Commander, if you're playing Wizard Tribal, you can have Naban out, deal 4 damage to each opponent, and you can pay 1 to put a token copy in, which deals 4 damage to each opponent. That's a lot of power on this card. Whether or not it's actually strong enough to make the cut in Eternal formats like that, probably not. But for limited purposes, this is going to fit just fine into the Wizard Tribal Spells Matter deck. Benelish Honor Guard is 2 CMC, 1 colorless and a white for a 2/2 Human Knight, and it gets +1/+0 for each legendary creature you control. Great for historic builds, just a bear with upside. Premium 2-drops are always important for you to pick up in Limited, and white seems to have some really solid ones this time around. Adventurous Impulse is 1 green mana for a sorcery. Look at the top 3 cards of your library. You may reveal a creature or land card from among them and put them into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. So this is probably the closest we're going to get to a color-shifted Ponder, or even a Ponder reprint. And it's pretty solid, especially in Limited. I don't think this is going to make the cut in constructed formats, but in Limited, this is really, really good. Lingering Phantom is 6 CMC, 5 colorless, and a black for a 5/4 spirit. Whenever you cast a historic spell, you may pay 1 black mana. If you do, return Lingering Phantom from your graveyard to your hand. So, of all the uncommons we've seen, this one's weak sauce. It's not good. Mace Unicorn is 2 CMC, 1 colorless and a white for a 2/2 Unicorn with Lifelink. So Bishop's Soldier was pretty darn good in Ixalan Limited, and this is going to do basically the same thing. Not as relevant a creature type, so it's not quite as good, but at the same time, this is going to do some pretty big life swings early. Great value bear. Sinkhole is back. It's X and a blue for an instant counter target spell unless its controller pays X. If that spell is countered this way, exile instead of putting it into its owner's graveyard. Super powerful, absolutely awesome to play against other control matchups, especially ones that are abusing their graveyards with things like Scarab God. This is going to be seen in Standard all over the place. The Eldest Reborn is 5 CMC, 4 colorless, and a black for an enchantment saga. Each opponent sacrifices a creature or planeswalker. Second lore counter, each opponent discards a card. And then the third lore counter, put target creature or planeswalker card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. This card is less abusable than maybe some of the other sagas, but what I like about it is that it's straight value for, say, Commander. If you're looking to have extra removal and then turn that around and get a reanimation spell, this could be a solid choice. Urgaros the Empty One is a preview card that we got from Jumbo Commander getting his first preview card. Congratulations! 6 CMC, 4 colorless, black, black for a 4/3 legendary creature Spectre with flying, and whenever he deals combat damage to a player, that player discards a card at random. If that player can't, you draw a card. I love that they discard the card at random. He's basically a bigger, stronger, hypnotic Spectre for double the cost. But when they run out of cards, you get to draw a card, continuing to get value off of this creature. Where do I really like this guy? Well, I think he's solid in Limited. He's not going to see play in other constructed formats, except maybe some fringe play in Commander. Discard isn't generally that strong, unless you're going for something along the lines of Nath of the Gilt Leaf or Nicol Bolas will both run him in the 99, and he'll be a solid choice. Jodah Archmage Eternal is 4 CMC, 1 colorless, blue, red, white for 4/3 legendary human wizard with flying. You may pay Wooburg rather than pay the mana cost for spells that you cast. Okay, so he's a Fist of Suns on a creature. You can run him as your commander. He can come out of the command zone. So it makes for an interesting build around. Personally, in regular Commander, I like him better as part of an existing 5-color deck. Maybe an additional card in Ramos Dragon Engine. But for Brawl, he's the only 5-color Commander available. So if you are looking to go 5-color in Brawl, this is the guy for you. Couple cards I would suggest, if you are running him in Commander, which is cool, you're going to get to do some cool stuff. Run Fist of the Suns. You won't be able to draw it as consistently, but that additional redundancy, if he gets nixed off the board or they somehow prevent you from playing him, you still have access to your original game plan. Also, in both Brawl and Commander, run Cascading Cataracts. It's just another way for you to get exactly Wooburg every single game. This one's coming to us from Gabby Sparks. It's Naru Meha, Master Wizard. It's 4 CMC, 2 colorless, blue, blue for a 3/3 legendary human wizard with flash. When she enters the battlefield, copy target instant or sorcery spell you control. You may choose new targets for the copy. Other wizards you control get +1/+1. First thing people look at on this card is, okay, it's a weaker dual caster mage, but it's also a wizard lord. That's cool. But what you have to see is that this can get you infinite turns in Standard. That's right. It's going to take some setup, so bear with me. If you have Naru Meha and you cast Karn's Temporal Sundering, you get the ability to copy Karn's Temporal Sundering, target Naru Meha, put her back into your hand. If you have Paradox Engine, each time you cast Naru Meha, you can untap all non-land permanents you control. So really, it depends on the quality of mana rocks you have in your deck. Good thing, there are cards like Gilded Lotus and Mox Amber being reprinted in this set. There's going to be some great mana rocks available, which means there's an infinite turn combo of just straight up good cards in Standard that also can also be in a mono blue deck. Very powerful, very interesting. Should be interesting to see how it plays out. Well, that's all for today. If you enjoy our content, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. This has been Metagame Mastery. Peace!